The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
अद्य शुक्रवासर अथवा भृगुवासर वैशाख कृष्ण अष्टमी दिनांक 15 मे 2020 सहस्रयोगम पान क्रमांक 24 शंखं चक्रं जलौकान् ददतमृतघटं चारुदोर्भिश्चतुर्भिः सूक्ष्मस्वच्छातिरुद्यांशकपर्विलसन् मौलिमं भोजनेत्रं कालाम्भोदोज्ज्वलाङ्गं कटितटविलसः चारुपीताम्बराढ्यं वन्दे धन्वन्तरिं तन् निखिलगतवनप्रौढदावाग्निलीलम् प्रौढदावाग्निलीलम् ब्रह्मणो हि समारब्धा मात्रेयाद्येषु पूजिताम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् आयुर्वेदरतं वन्दे माधवाख्यं महागुरुम् आयुर्वेदामृतं सर्वं शिष्येभ्यो यः प्रदत्तवान् द्रष्टाज्ञानी दृष्टकर्मा कृतकर्मा तथैव च अध्यापकोऽभिषक्श्रेष्ठो महान् संशोधकस्तथा गुणैरेतैः समुदितैः यत्कार्यं प्रतनोद्दिशः समृद्ध्यर्थं हि कार्यस्य वयं प्रयतामहे सरस्वत्यै नमो यस्याः प्रसादात् पुण्यकर्मभिः बुद्धिदर्पणसङ्क्रान्तं जगदध्यक्षमीक्षते आत्रेयं प्रथमं वन्दे आयुर्वेदजगद्गुरुम् आयुर्वेदामृतं सर्वं गृहीत्वा सुरेश्वरात् अग्निवेशादिकेभ्यो यत्प्रेच्छति सत्तमः प्रथमं तन्त्रकर्तारम् अग्निवेशं नमाम्यहम्। द्राक्षाकृष्णवृषैरम्बु पित्तजस्वरसाधनम् तर्हि वातजस्वरभेदे किं कर्तव्यम् एतदुक्त्वा पित्तजस्वरसाधे चिकित्सितमाह द्राक्षाकृष्णः वृषैरम्बु Raksha, Krishna is Vipali, Vrusha is Vasan. So the Siddha Jala from this or decoction is useful in Svarasada. So Draksha and Vrusha or Vasa both are Pitta Shamaka. Krishna is or Pipali is a bit different, but Kahavata Shamaka. So this is simple yoga, and that is a better choice because there are very simple yogas, and the permutations and combinations are very nice. So in that way, if we start using them in our day-to-day practice, that is fine. त्रिजात्र त्रिकटु व्याधि व्याघ्री भांगिक वाथ मधुत कटः कफचारुचि उल्लास प्रसेक स्वरवेदन. So त्रिजात्र त्रिकटु व्याघ्री is कंटकहारी भानंगी and madhut katah kvatha. So more quantity of madhu. Kafacha aruchi ullasa praseka and swaraveda. So this is very good for kafacha diseases. And this is also quite simple. And in place of this kvatha, we can make churna of these and dispense. That is also quite fine. So the Falashruti is also wide that way and good enough. अरुचिहर आम्र कषाय आम्र पल्लव तद्वृंत बिल्व लाजार्द्रकेक्षुभि केसरैर मातुलुंगस्य युक्त क्वाथो रुचिंजे. आम्र पल्लव तद्वृंत, this is again specific. बिल्व लाजा आर्द्रक इक्षुभि केसरैहि मातुलुंगस्य और मातुलुंग केशर. बिल्व पत्र ही है आम्र पल्लव and वृंत बिल्व पत्र लाजा आर्द्रक इक्षु मातुलुंग स्वर केशर. This is particularly useful for aruchi. Pansarkar sir was of opinion that when vrunta is used, there is one vrunta in Pandurogadhyaya, Pathya Vrunta Shata Siddha or something like that. And he said that the vrunta is this rotus of that fruit as such. And so, maybe in some cases that might be useful. So whenever we want to use something which is rotogami, then vrunta is one of the options. So there are very few yogas about vrunta as such. So one may try to use this. And aruchi, how to identify aruchi? That is another issue. Of course, one feels that he doesn't have any ruchi. But if he has hunger and no ruchi or something like that, then this is a better choice to do. If the patient doesn't eat because there is no ruchi, but feels weakness without just because he is not eating, then that should be considered as aruchi. I am generally trying to use Dadimadi Churna or Lavangadi Churna in these cases, and that works better. Vrunta is what, sir? Date. It is the part which connects the fruit with the main tree. So maybe called as stalk. I don't know. There might be some technical word. How to get Matulunga Kesar and what would be the Matra? Difficult to say. Matulunga is very difficult to get, particularly in Pune area or something. But it looks like Karela externally, but is very sour in taste. And I don't know whether Matulunga flowers are available, and we'll be able to get the kesar of that. Is this available ready-made? No, this is not available. Hmm? Yeah, from Aruchi साठी आलाय. Aruchi. But Matulunga is very good Nritya, so might be useful in that way. So we have to think about this. Vishwabda Lakshati Bala Balakvata Samakshikaha Rasacha Kana Churna Yukto Saktarodha Nirodakaha. Vishwa, this Shunki Abda is Musta, and Abda is Shunki again. Abda is Musta, Laksha, Atipala Bala. Vata with Makshika, Rasna Kana Churna Yukto. And with Rasna and Kana Churna, Bhaktarodha Nirodaka. So Bhaktarodha is obstruction in passage of the food, and Annadvesha. So actually Bhaktarodha will be obstruction or something like that, one which is obstructing the Bhakta, and Nirodhaka of that is removing that obstruction, so to say. But then this may be tried in esophageal cancer. This Vishwa of the Laksha Atibala Bala. So all are available, not an issue. Rasna Kana Churana Yukto Bhaktarodha Nirodhaka. Only thing, this has to be cooled, and then you may add Rasna Kana Churana when it is hot and allow it to cool, and then put Makshika into that. Rasna Kana Churana and honey. So instead of just Annadvesha, we may try to consider it Bhaktarodha is something obstruction or something like that. Matulunga Phala is available not in Pune easily. Hunger with no ruchi means there is hunger, but the patient doesn't want to eat. That is hunger with no ruchi or something like that. Sir, here Phala Vrunta apekshita hai ki Patra Vrunta? I think Phala Vrunta. We have to see the tree and whether there is a Vrunta of that Patra or there is a Vrunta of that Phala. But if Vrunta of Phala is available, then we better go for Phala Vrunta. It is said that it is if a needle is poked in Matulunga fruit and kept, it dissolves. Yeah, it is very sour in taste. So might be possible that it acts on the lower. Why is Vishwa taken double here? Actually, it is Vishwa and Abda. So Abda is Musta. I think there is a mistake in translation. Phala will have a limited periods availability, so difficult to use all the time. It is very difficult to get fresh fruit or fresh leaves of this in particularly Maharashtra. So by great difficulty, we could see the phala from some patients, and it looks like Karela externally, but it is very sour in taste. So we have to. Madhi Phala Rasayana is available, which is Matulanga syrup, which is widely used for Arucha and Agninanda. That is true. So this Madhipala Rasayana was in use of Vaidya Vilas Nanal Sir also, much quantity. I have not used specifically, so I won't say anything about it. Niranse varna malamalavatas baddal. Allah hai matulung baddal nahi. Okay. But then you decide in which this is there or something like that. So Yogesh Kutte and these. It is given to bulls if they have eaten anything like iron. In Ashmari also it is used. It is said to melt the Ashmari. While it shouldn't touch teeth, some people does its farming. Where it is available, because there is much description about this, particularly for Rudroga. So, if we get a chance, this is again a new information that if it is given to bulls, so it may be having that action of dissolving iron, and then this might be used even in Pandu along with iron. So assimilation might be proper. That might be the thing. Anyway, we proceed further. So Vishwa Shruti and Abda is also Shruti hai, they have written, but Abda is Mustaq. So that's a mistake. Bala Shatavari Draksha Bilva Mula Trikantakai, Sadadina Kutantoyam Bhakta Dvesha Nivarana. Here it is Bhakta Dvesha, and first it was Bhakta Rodha. So Bala Shatavari Draksha Bilva Mula Trikantakai, Sadadina Kutantoyam. So this is rather Pitta Shamaka more. And Bhakta Dvesha again is dislike or ruchi about Bhakta. So this should be, this might be used. Panchanam Panchamulanam Kashayena Shrutam Prayaha Ajam Madhusita Yuktam Bhaktarodha Nirodhasham. The Bhaktarodha Nirodhasham again is one word. So Panchanam Panchamulanam Kashayena Shrutam Ajam Paya. So Panchamula, Brahat Panchamula, Madhyam Panchamula, Lagu Panchamula, like all those. And Kashayena Shrutam Paya. So make a Kashaya of these and then make Ajam Paya Siddha. So both milk. Madhusita Yuktam, and to be given with Madhusita, Bhaktarodha Nirodhasham. So it is Bhaktarodha Nirodhaja. Actually, this is again clumsy. Bhaktarodha Nirodhaja would be a better part. Ja is getting generated from that. 200 to 300 rupees fruit. Where? Where it is available in Pune. This is quite costly. And if Madhipala Rasayana is available in plenty, then it might be that there should be a good source of this somewhere else. Otherwise, it is not so easily available. So, Ajam Madhusita Yuktam Bhaktarodha Nirodhajam. Nirodhajam is it's strange. And Bhaktarodha Nirodhe, that will be a better part or something like that. Panchamula Burhat Lagu Madhyama Jivani and Lagu Pancha. Lagu is again repeated. So Burhat Lagu Madhyama Jivaniya, these are all okay. And why Lagu again? No. This might be Kantaka Panchamula or Trona Panchamula. Mostly Kantaka Panchamula would be appropriate. We have to see Charaka for this. According to Sushruta, Panchamula includes Bruhat Lahu, Kantaka, yes, Valli and Jivaniya Panchamula. But some commentators have suggested replacing Valli and Kantaka Panchamula with Madhyama and Jivaniya. But even then, the Lagu Panchamula is double over here, so that is not justifiable. So Jivaniya and Kantaka Panchamula will be better, or Kantaka Valli. That will be another important aspect over here in place of Jivaniya. Prepare decoction by boiling the above specified drugs and Ajak and administer with honey and sugar. So generally, actually, kashaya shrutam is one has to make a kashaya, then boil milk with that kashaya and reduce to milk, and then that is to be given with honey or sugar, honey and sugar. So better understand it in this way. Bala punarnaivairanda shunki gokshura sadhana ajakshiran gita peya bhaktarodha nirodhi. Now there is a different part. Bala punarnaivairanda brahati dvaya gokshurai. So this is for Shula, actually, and Vatapitta Shula, and I have used it successfully in many cases. But this is Bala Punarnava Eranda, and in place of Shunti, there is Bruhati Dvaya and Gokshura. So Gokshura is same. In place of Shunti, it is Bruhati Dvaya and Ajakshiranta. This is special thing. So it is to be used with Adakshira. Bhaktarodha Nirodhini, and this is causing Bhaktarodha Nirodha as such. So this we may try. Anyway, this is a good combination. Bhavat Lagu Madhyam Jivan Truna Panchamula. Yeah, but Kantaka Panchamula is also one of the things. What is mentioned shows Pancha Pallava and it is not mentioned in translation. Musta and Vishwa are proven anti-emetic. Mumbai we get. Okay. Shows Pancha Pallava. Actually, Pancha Mula, that is the issue. So it might be either Truna Panchamula or Kantaka Panchamula. Jivana has to be there. We may try to see the part in Rasayana Adhyaya of Charaka. Panchanam Panchamulanam, there is one yoga initially only, and that might be of help. And try to see the Chakrapani Dattatika over there. So this is again a good part. Bala Punarnava Irenda Shunti Gokshura Sadhita. Ajakshiran Mata Peya. Bhaktarodha Nirodhi. Now this Peya has not been reflected in the Bhashantara in translation. So Savita Peya, actually it is the Peya that is to be made siddha with this. So better make a decoction, cook rice into that, convert into a Peya, and then add Ajakshira to that Peya and drink it. So truly speaking, the Bhashantar will be prepare gruel with rice, Ajakshira and decoction of the above specified drugs. So by Sanskrit translation, the Bala Punarnaivaranda Shunti Gokshura Sadhita Peya to be prepared, and that is to be given along with Ajakshira, and that is Bhaktarodha Nirodha. Bilvadhanyaka Bala Mahaushadaihi Lajabuddha Sahitai Shutajalam Shardimashu Pivataha Sasharkaram Hanti Vataka Pittajamapi. Bilvadhanyaka Bala Mahaushada Lajabuddha Sahitaihi Shutajalam. Shudhaihi Lajabuddha Sahitaihi Shutajalam Shardimashu Pivataha Sasharkaram Hanti Vataka Pittajamapi. So this is again a good part. Dhanya and Shunti is a combination that is used for Pachana particularly. Bilva also helps for that. And Bala and Laja Mudga. Laja and Mudga. This is again Aradavya and Santarpana, and Shuddha Jalam. So it's Siddha Jala. Sasharkaram Pibataha, Vatapitta Kapisham Apichardim Ashu Anti. That is the Anvay. So we had one discussion with our students, and there might be some levels of understanding text. The first level is splitting Sandhi and Samasa, and then making Anvaya, and trying to achieve Shabdasha, this Vakyartha of every word to be understood. And this is first level. Then, referring to the context before and after or something like that, what explanation can be given about this? That is second level. And third level will be Atitaveksha, Anagataveksha, those which are scattered or some practical experiences about that. That will be third level. So now during this lockdown period, the Ayurvedic colleges have already shifted to online courses. And one of my concepts for these online courses is we should teach only Samhita online. No, actually, subject-wise teaching. Samhitas contain all subjects, so there should not be any problem with that. Only thing is there should be good practitioners with sound knowledge of Sanskrit text, and they should share their experiences or their thought processes about that. Now, my recording is already available about Charaka, old Charaka, etc. Only thing is it is much high level, and for primary, there might be creation of this kind of thing, and to try to understand the meaning of the sutra by Sandhi Vigraha, Samas Vigraha, and Anvaya. So if that is provided by somebody, then that will work. Our book on Ashtanga Hridayam is very good for Sutra Sthana for this. We have followed this method, and I have also chanted whole Sutra Sthana for the benefit of the students to have proper pronunciation of the words. So that is another important aspect. This is in Marathi. The whole explanation is in Marathi. But we can either go for Hindi explanation or English explanation. But the way is first is Vakyartha along with the Padartha. Every pada should be distinctly identified and the meaning of that is given. And then the second level, in the particular context, Prakaranadhikarana, we have to explain. And third level is along with the experiences and overall importance, etc., etc., or another thought process about that sutra. And the first two levels might be common for all, but the third level will differ from person to person. And anyway, the recording should be made available through internet, and students can learn from 7 o'clock or before that till 9:30 at home, and then go to colleges for practical purposes, particularly clinical experiences. And in the afternoon, maybe having the Dravyaguna Rasa Shastra, Swasthurta practicals and such, then self-study at home, and then go to clinics in the evening. That should be mandatory. So the universities will just conduct examinations based on Samvita, and all subjects might be covered or something like that. So this would be ideal situation. There will not be much requirement of the college teachers and such. On the contrary, those who are very good practitioners in that city maybe get attached to the hospitals, Ayurvedic hospitals associated with Ayurvedic colleges, and visits to food factories, cow farms may be arranged to see what is actually being prepared and what is actually being sold and what are the effects of that on our dosha dhatu mala, etc. So this will be very good. So I think those who are good in Sanskrit, they can definitely get this work distributed and go for linear meaning of this with Sandhi Vigraha, Samas Vigraha and Anvay. Anvay is a great thing. So if we get the Anvay, there is a Yoga Tantra Yukti in Sushruta which says about Anvay only. And so if that is done, then one will get the Shabdasha Artha and Vakya Artha of that. And this might be done in first year. And second year onwards, the same text with higher study may be taken up. And third year would also be third level or something like that. Or for PG, third level is most important. They should learn the third level. But before that, they should have learned first and second level properly. Then only they will go for third level or something like that. So this is a good combination. I come across many patients, particularly on milk diet, and for a few days they are okay. But after some days they develop nausea and start vomiting. And so in that scenario, I have to change to Lagamanda initially. If that satisfies or we come with our Sucheka, if that solves the problem, it's okay. Otherwise, when I has to use Amrapallava, Jambu Amrapallava, that yoga I'm using, and in Chardi, given in Chardi, but this also are good yogas. And once the patient settles, again we start with milk diet. That's a better thing to do. Chakrapani in Rasayana Adhyaya says Pancha Pancha Mulani means Pratidravya Dashaphala Bhaga Grahyam. Dashaphala Bhaga Grahyam. No, that would not be the meaning of the Pancha Pancha Mula. Now this is the quantum. Prati Dravya Dashapala Bhaga. So Dashapala is to be taken from Prati Dravya. It's nothing to do with Pancha Pancha Mula. He should have mentioned about that. Let us see. It is Vata Kapha Pittaja. Is the sequence important in respect to Dravya mentioned? Might be. So whenever there is usefulness for Sandipatika Avastha, they may just say Sandipata. So it can be any kind of Satipata. When they particularly mention the particular sequence, then that might be of use. Sir, where we can get Sutrasthana chant by me? It's Manukarnika publication. It comes along with the Marathi translation of Ashtanga Hridaya Sutrasthana. It's me and Yashashri Joshi and Sachin Kulkarni. We are the authors of that book. Available in Manikarnika in Pune and Chinswad. But you can put a query and then you can get it. Even CD alone is also available. So you can put a query for that. Bapala Vaidya says Matulunga Keshara is raw bird. Okay. So it's not the Keshar, it's the whole bird, but raw bird, maybe dried or something like that. सर सूत्रस्थानाप्रमाणे उर्वरित अष्टांग हृदय पण प्रकाशित होणार आहे का? There have been queries about this. I don't have time now for this. There are many other works which are more important than this. But some may take lead in this, not myself, and try to publish it. There is a demand to publish it in Hindi, and that work is going on right now. So Sachin Kulkarni has taken that responsibility. नाही माहिती केरळ मधल्या लोकांना कसं आठवलं मराठीत आहे पुस्तकात where we can get your recording of Ashtanga Sutrasthana reciting for student benefit. As I said, the CD is available in Manakaranta. So you can get a CD and then that should be fine. Where can I get previous recordings? Those are available with below. If you continue with this, then those will be available on the website of ayurveda.com. Now he has made a different library for which he is charging 360 rupees per year. So you may contact him. There may be change after this lockdown is over. This is going to be free for 23rd or something. And then the period will be gone. He has spent money for this and still made it free. So, okay, Sachin has said that 70% of Hindi Ashtanga Hridaya book is completed. Very good. So we expect that that will be out within few months, and that should be fine. So anyway, but what I feel, it's not only me that should be writing books and other things. You also contribute to that, and that will be great. So what you can do, that you have to think of. There are many students who are good in Sanskrit. They can at least go for Sandhivigraha Samasukara and Anvaya, and then look for simple translation. That will be fine. And those who are having experience may start writing the explanation about that. That should be fine. So Vata Kapha Pitta Jamapi. So instead of Vata Kapha Pitta, Vata Pitta Kapha Jamapi, that also would have been suitable in this Vrutta. But when he says particularly Vata Kapha Pitta, then it might be useful that this is particularly useful in that Sandhipata. So, Laja Bilvaushadai Siddha Kataschadhita Paraha. Laja Bilvan Aushadha. So anyway, we are using Laja only because Laja Stut Chadati Sara Meha Medaka Pachitaha and Santarpana Prinana. So Bilva and Shunti to be added, particularly for Chardi. That sounds a good combination. So I will directly start using this Laja Bilva and Shunti. So this is a very good Chardi. Jammu Amra Pallavaambodh वालो शीर महौषधेहि निष्पातो मधुमान मंशु हंति चर्दि असृक्षतिम मंशु जम्बू पल्लव आम्र पल्लव अंबोध is musta valaka ribeira and ushira. So this is kalavala vala or something like that. Mahaushadhai chunti Nishkvatho madhuman mangshu. What is mangshu? Hantichar disruk shritim. This is very strange. Chardi raktasrava. So it might not be shruti, it might be sruti. Asruk shrutim, and this should be one word. So chardi and asruk shruti. So if there is raktasrava, and he doesn't say anything about mangshu. Madhuman mangshu. I'm not understanding mangshu, the word mangshu. It might be Ikshurasa or something like that. बिल्वफळ चूर्ण घ्यायचे आहे का? Yeah, it's better. बिल्वफळ चूर्ण. Bilvapala is to be used on the arm or katsa, and Kapitha to be used on the pakwa. So, Ashuhanti aseल. Nishvatva madhuman Ashu. Then that should be madhuman Ashu. Hanti chardes srutim and shrutim. So shrutim has no meaning. If it is asruk sruti, maybe a critical edition of this to certain extent. Maybe a critical edition of Sahasrayogam is required. Nobody has looked into the Sanskrit aspect of this, and everybody is satisfied with Hindi or English translation. So that is actually not correct. So these kinds of things need to be taken care properly, and a new edition with proper Sanskrit may be put on. Ushira is also, there is a typographical mistake. So we have to think about this. And Asruk Shruti is Sarvat Chardi, that might be the thing. Rudrogahar Kashaya, Dhanyaka Shunti Sradaru Chitra, Balekshu Bilvai, Paripakvam Amba, Sasayandavo Rudgada Kota Gulma, Vata Pliha, Parshva Rujashu Shaskaha. So there should be a break, Sasaindavo, there should be a space. Rudgada Kota Gulva Vata Pliha Rujashu, then again there should be a space, Shaskaha. So Shaskaha should be separate. So Dhanyaka Shunthi Suradaru Chitra Bala Ikshu Bilvaihi Ambha Paripakvam. So again maybe decoction or maybe Siddha Jala with Saindava is useful in this Rudgada, Rudroga, Kota, Gulma, Vata Pliha, Parshvaruja. So this is typical Parshvaruja as well. So Ikshu is also there. This is odd. Dhanyaka Shunti Suradaru Chitra and Bilva. These are Vachana. Ikshu and Bala. These are different. The Falashruti is quite wide. So we may have to think about this, particularly in Parshvaruja Rudroga. That is better. Mashadaru Balak Vatha Satailasha Hitaskata. So this is quite simple. And Tatha is the Falashruti of the upper yoga. So this is again a good thing to do. Mashadaru Balakvatha. So Masha, Daru and Bala. So Daru is again Devdar or second formula. Prepared a question about with Tila Taila, Rudroga. So this is, but then it is not Rudroga, if Tatha would indicate for all other as well. With Taila. May have to think about this. Varit Pibej Varoktam Drakshadi Sarivadi Ganambucha Vidaryadi Vidaryadi Ganenapi Siddham Trishna Prapidita. So Trishna Prapidita, this should be one word. One who is having too much Trishna. Drink Drakshadi Sarivadi Ganam. So Drakshadi is mentioned already, and Jwarokta. And Sarivadi Ganambu. Vidaryadi Ganenapi Siddham. And also made Siddha by Vidaryadi Gana. So these all are useful for Krishna particularly. So this might be Jwara Trishna or any other Trishna, because there is no specific mention. For many elements of Jwara associated with Trishna, they have made it associated with Jwara only. But as I said, it should be useful in Jwara, there is no doubt. If this Jwaradhikara is still going on, it's Raktasruti Vamin in my book. Okay. For angina pain, इक्षुका रस यूज करेंगे or what to be used? Difficult to say. But maybe we can use Ikshu rasa for that. So we may try to get all pathas associated with these. Hindi editions, English editions, Malayalam editions, or something like that. And then decide what is appropriate. At least these kinds of mistakes, that breaking unnecessarily, not breaking, or something like that, making one word unnecessary, these can be taken care. And Vidaryadi, Vidaryadi Ganena, that should be one word. Sarivadi Ganambu, that is also one word. Should be different. So these are very simple mistakes that can be taken care by any Sanskrit scholar. So I think anybody from this class who is good enough to do this job, then this might be given to some people. Anyway, what I feel, I may talk to our JSVC group, and Nishigandha was saying that she would be able to. She wants to work for something. This is a good work for her if she is here present. Sir, there is no good work on Sahasrayogam, sir. Malayalam version, shloka we can recite from Malayalam version in translation Hindi and English. Okay. So I might be the first person trying to read it from Sanskrit point of view. And that's a big lacuna in Kerala tradition, that they recite, but they don't try to understand the original meaning from the shloka, and are dependent on maybe translation, Malayalam translation or Hindi or English translation. And then if nobody is looking into the Sanskrit, then that would be troublesome. And this is a very well-known text, very well in practice. So at least for this, we can work for that. And if somebody develops an app over here, I don't know whether there is already an app available of Sahasrayogam. Is anybody aware about that mobile app? Okay, it is there. And does it give original Sanskrit shlokas? It doesn't give Sanskrit shlokas. So then it might be better to have Sanskrit shlokas along with that app. So those who are conversant with Sanskrit may try to look into the Sanskrit version and rectify this thing. These are simple rectifications that don't need much more attention or something like that. So this would be a need for all these kinds of texts that are available, particularly in the south, and also Malayalam or some other languages. So we have to think about that. I am having Marathi edition, which is as per Dravyanama Yoga and not the Vyadhinama Yoga. Marathi edition of what? App or Marathi edition printed? Huh. As per Dravyanama Yoga and not the Vyadhinama Yoga. Huh. So, printed version. Okay. Actually, these kinds of work are to be digitalized now. And anyway, I'm trying to digitalize all texts, particularly in XLS format. Then it can be seen from any angle. If you want to see from Dravya angle, if you want to see from Upayukta angle, if you want to see from disease or conditions, etc., etc., or from Kalpana angle. So there are so many things. The same is the case with Ashtanga Sangraha, Chakradatta, Nigantus, etc. That is true. But we are taking care of Ashtanga Sangraha along with the commentary. And Chakradatta, this is not still fate. The Nigantus we are trying to take care. So in Pratipadika Kosha. So Ashtanga Sangraha and Ashtanga Nigantus will be available. Vilo Bhartiya has put many efforts on Ashtanga Sangraha, typing original sutra and typing tika as well. So this is a huge job. And still there are some typographical mistakes. So I have assured him that we'll take care of those mistakes and hand over corrected edition of Ashtanga Sangraha. Anyway, he has developed already app on that, searchable app. So this is again a good thing. So those texts which are very commonly used and very popular, we may think of converting them into the spreadsheets and try to improve the Sanskrit by removing the impurities in that and then make them available. That would be a great thing to do. So I think this is a good idea to do that. And we'll soon be coming up with this Pratipadika Kosha, and that will have many advantages. Just anyway, I had said yesterday that I will Pratipadika Kosha is a different subject as such, and I will talk about it tomorrow. There are hardly 10 minutes remaining. So I explain about the Pratipadika Kosha. Pratipadika is the original word. Arthavada Dhatra Pratyek Pratipadika. That is the definition of Pratipadika from Paninian grammar. You might have learned this sutra during first year. Arthavat Adhatu Apratyaha Pratipadika. One which has a meaning, which is not a dhatu and which is not a pratyay, or which is not suffixed by a pratyay, is Pratipadika. So Vasaha, Pittam, Kapaha, etc. are padas, Suptingantam Padam, and Vata, Pitta, Kapha, these are Pratipadika. So like that, there are lakhs of Pratipadika, and there are derivatives from this Pratipadika in the form of Sup and Ting Pratyas. So Sup are from Nama and Ting are from the Dhatu or roots. So our effort is to reach Pratipadika of each word that is in the text. Surprisingly, I came to know that this work has been done by Heidelberg University, Digital Corpus of Sanskrit. Devdatta Deshmukh pointed it out. And there are many Ayurvedic texts also incorporated. Actually, it is a work for Sanskrit literature. But some Ayurvedic texts are also taken up into that. I was trying to arrive at Pratipadika with a very long way. Identifying each word and then the suffix, pratyaya, what is there or something like that. And then making anvaya. And in that particular context, what is the relationship of that word with other words? After seeing this digital corpus Sanskrit, I realized that it would be better if you directly come on to Pratipadika. In Triskanda Kosha, we have used Prathama Shashti syntax. So Neya is Roga and Arogya for us, and Hetu Jnana, Dakshana Jnana, and Aushadha Jnana is the Jnana associated with that Roga and Arogya. So this Neya we entered in Shashti Vibhakti, Jvarasya, Kasasya, Raja, Kshana, Swastasya, like that. And Jnana we entered in Prathama Vibhakti. So Ativyayamaha Jvarasya, the Ativyayamaha is in Prathama Vibhakti and Jvarasya is in Shashti Vibhakti. Angamangaha Jvarasya or Angamardaha Jvarasya. This is Angamangaha or Angamardaha in Prathama Vibhakti and Jvarasya in Shashti Vibhakti. And Danganam Jvarasya. So Dangana is Prathama and Jvarasya is Shashti Vibhakti. So actually we created three databases. Ekakosha, Dakshan Kosha and Aushadha Kosha. And in all these three databases, the Neya is in Shashti Vibhakti, Jvarasya, Kasasya, like that. And when we gather information from Hetu Kosha, Dakshan Kosha and Aushadha Kosha, we get Triskandatmaka Jnana of that particular area. And since we are covering all text, whole text, Ashtanga Samhita, Sushrit Samhita, Ashtanga and Ashtanga Hridaya, these four texts were selected at that time. So our job was to go through every sutra, understand the meaning, separate every word, and then uh, classify it, whether it is a Hetu Sutra, Lakshan Sutra, Aushadha Sutra, and then what is Neya, what is Jnana, and then put vibhaktis according to that. So we did the job of separating the some what we can say Sandhi and Samasa, separating each word and arriving at Pratipadika and then using Shashti or Prathama Vibhakti of that part. So this has become a Sanskrit oriented word. So unless and until you understand Prathama, Shashti, etc., it is not possible. This is much simplified as compared to reading of the text. But still, this is Sanskrit based work. So then I thought of arriving at Pratipadika. So instead of Vatana, Vatena, Vatasya, Vatat, etc., we only have only Vata Shashti. And the relationship of this vata, whether it is a causative factor, whether it is an effect, whether it is a lakshana or something like that, is denoted by signs. So what we are trying to do now is again go to every sutra, read every sutra, understand the meaning, separate each word, go to the pratipadik of that word, prepare pratipadik of that word, and then put signs to the pratipadika so that if it is hetu karya, if it is lakshan laksha, if it is aushadha and disease or lakshana. So this is covered in Triskanda Kosha that we will be doing. In addition to that, we have Dravya Guna Karma as well. So Guruchi Katuka Tikta Swadupaka Rasayani. So Guruchi is the Dravya. Katuka Tikta, these are rasas. And Swadupaka is again Vipaka. And Rasayani is this karma. So like that, or it has varieties of diseases, and other things in which Guruchi is useful or something like that. So we are developing database which is directly of use for understanding the relationships, these kinds of relationships, and we are again not only working on Triskanda Kosha but also working on the Dravya Karma Kosha, Ahara Jnana Kosha as well. So this is having a wide spectrum, not only Triskanda. That is one aspect. And we want to cover all Ayurvedic texts. That is another important aspect. So first thing is to digitalize all Ayurvedic texts and then apply this format of Pratipadik portion to that. So all the information will be gathered together. This is a huge project, and we are working on this for last 9 years now. Just this Akshay Tritiya, we completed 9 years. And of course, there is a team working on this. And right from the beginning, I decided not to go for any government help. So I am putting my own money into it, earn from practice. And there have been people from JSVC group who have been contributing to this as per their own capacity or as per their own desire. Anyway, whatever is additionally required, that is I'm putting from my own practice. But this is going to be a revolutionary work, and we are also trying to develop diagnostic and treatment software based on this, and this will be very broad based. So this is Pratipadika Kosha, and those who are in Pune may try to understand it. Those who are outside Pune may try to contact our core team. Sima Kashikar is in this group, who is working for us for Pratipadika Kosha, and even this Savita Pasarkar. I don't know whether Mridula is working over here or not, or listening to this lecture or not. But Savita Pasarkar is also there. So you may contact her. Sushruta also knows very well about this. And then decide what you can contribute. One thing is, as I said, contribution in the form of money. Another is in the form of time, etc., or your efforts for that. And at least propagation of this, that is to be done by people. So let us hope for the best, and this will be a very fruitful project, surpassing Kriskanda Kosha to much extent. Kriskanda Kosha is also a very huge project, very important project, as seen by Kollatkar Sir, and taking inspiration from Kollatkar Sir and having experience of Kriskanda Kosha, I am planning for this project. So soon we'll have some very good results from this project. That is what is expected. So anyway, we try to see. Please display mobile number of contact persons. Okay, this will be displayed on JSVC group. And what does Pratipadika mean exact? As I said, it's original word. Vata is original word, that is Pratipadika. Vataha, Vatasya, Vatena, these are further derived from Pratipadika. So, original word. And the other important aspect of this, there is transliteration available of these words into any Indian language and all foreign languages. So you can see the kosha, whole kosha in Punjabi, Gujarati, Uriya, Kannada, Telugu, Tamil, any language. You can see it. That is one important aspect of this. And even foreign language, Roman transcription, and then in Japanese, Germany, or whatever language you want to say. The conversion is available, a single stroke conversion. So there is no much difference about that. So anyway, we'll display the numbers of these on JSVC group, and you contact the persons and say what you can help in this. So there might be some people who are good in Sanskrit, they may start taking up this task of rectifying the text. That's a better thing to do. So okay, we conclude here and continue tomorrow. आहार ज्ञान कोश बद्दल काही विजन आहे सर. Maybe I will tell you tomorrow, but just remind me. That will be better. Ayurveda.